Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. How are we all? Hope we're all having a good day so far. So, tonight, crystal of the week is the gorgeous Larimar. Good evening, Carolyn. I hope you're well. Good evening, Joe. Nice to see you. Good evening, Sarah. Let me just pop back up. Hello, all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, this is the second week of us doing Crystal of the Week. Last week was Aquamarine. This week is Larimar. Beautiful, beautiful pieces of Larimar. So this is part of the pectolite family. Pectolite isn't just located at Dominican Republic. It was first discovered in 1828 in Italy. But Larimar, which is the blue variety of pectolite, is the only mineral to be sourced from the Dominican Republic, and it only comes. Larimar is the only mineral from Dominican Republic. So when we do have crystals that are from a certain area or restricted by the location they come from, that ups the price as well. Larimar was first discovered on the beach in the mountains in 1916 by a chap called Miguel, and he went to the committee to ask if he could have a grant to discover more of it. There was only a small specimen found. That grant was turned down. It wasn't until 1974 that another guy called Miguel, he discovered it on the beach. And he put in a grant to source more, to get more of a specimen, to get it classed as a mineral. And that was granted. So he was given the rights to that, and therefore was the first person to call it Larimar. And everybody knows, who's been on Dan Rocks, knows the beautiful name. When we get names of crystals, we tend to think that they're normally called by the place they come from or by the person that discovered them. Miguel, who discovered Larimar in 1974, he had a daughter called Larissa. So he took the first part of her name and combined it with Mar, which is Spanish for sea, because he found the first specimen on the beach, and put that together and came up with Larimar, which is just gorgeous, just beautiful. So Larimar is a sodium calcium silicate hydroxide. So we do have on the periodic table, we do have Na for sodium, and we have Ca for the calcium there. Little debate on the blue colouring. Some people say that cobalt replaces the calcium to give it the blue colouring. Some people say that it's copper that's gone in to the calcium to give it the blue colouring. So there's debates there of where it goes to. On the Mohs scale, it is 4.5 to a 5. So some people say that 5 to 6 on the Mohs scale, you're okay to put in water as to cleanse the crystal. Some people like to not take that chance because even on a 5 to 6 level, there might be some discoloration. There might be some damage done to the crystal if it's been in the water for so long. Some people like to compare it with a quartz to a 7 on a Mohs scale before they feel safe putting stuff into water. Here we have raw pieces of Larimar that's been cut, and it is quite porous. It is quite chalky to the feel. So for me, even though part of its name means sea, and it has this beautiful sea-like pattern, I wouldn't leave it in water for a long time. I do feel it's very chalky. So over a period of time, it might you might find that the color is fading, or you might find that bits again a bit soft and are breaking off. The crystal structure, it is in the triclinic. Triclinic is the crystal structure. So last week we had aquamarine, which was in the hexagonal. Now we've got the triclinic. So this shares the same family as rhodonite, kyanite, in the crystal structure, not in the mineral makeup. In the structure of triclinics, we've got kyanite in there as well, rhodonite, labradorite, and the moonstone family, and amazonite. They're in there as well. Quite kind of like splintered, and all the axes are of different lengths. So that's what makes up the triclinic. And yeah, needle-like fibers that builds them up. Because I've mentioned sodium, sodium, as we know, is kind of like table salt, but too much salt can be a bad thing. So I would advise not to put this in drinking water. You might be fine for a few months, but too much can be a little bit problematic. So I would say no. Let me show you more of these crystals. I don't know how to get the balance. I don't know whether you want to see my face, the crystals. At the moment, you're seeing a bit of both, but I'm going to drop back down and just let you see these beautiful crystals of Larimar. And feel free to let me know if you've got pieces of Larimar. How do you feel if you've worked with Larimar? Do comment on what you guys think. Do you put it in water to cleanse? Have you had any situations? You know, we're all in this learning together. So, you know, if you've put it in water to cleanse, have you had good results? Have you done it for several years and you're starting to find, oh, actually, it's not looking as good as it did to begin with? Larimar has become increasingly rare. I do believe that they have found another pocket in Dominican Republic, but the first original mine that we used to get Larimar from, that did flood. Larimar is found in the Dominican Republic around the crevices of lava. Where the lava has come away, Larimar seems to grow in its place in the crevices underground. And the original mine, yes, that flooded. I think it was about 10 years ago. So there were reports that the only Larimar that was available was out in the open, which made the prices rocket. But since we've been on the scene, the last couple of years, I have seen quite a lot of it flying around. So I do believe, whether it's secret, but I do believe there's got to be another pocket opened for the amount of Larimar that's flying around. But it's not seemed to affect the price. It's extortionate prices, Larimar. Because of the colouring, I wouldn't put it in the sun. So if we're looking at charging your crystals, we use the sun energy to charge. We use the moon energy to charge. We can put it in the soil and bury the crystals to charge. I would keep this for the moon, that delicate energy. The sun, I would be worried after time because it's such a pale color. After a while, I would be fret that the sun would bleach it. So when we're charging the crystals, if we've got Larimar, put it with your aquamarine. Last week we said aquamarine I would charge by the moon as well. And these pale colours I think would do better for that. Cleansing Larimar, I would use all manners. Okay. I mean, we've said I wouldn't submerge it in water, but I would spritz it. I would get an aura spray and I would spritz it with some beautiful scented water. I would use tuning forks or sound bowls, chime bars. I would use sound on it. The sound would be really nice. And then I would use smoke. And they're my 3 common practices that I like to use for cleansing: smoke, sound, and spray. And they're my 3 that I like to use. Let's read some of these comments. Bear with me 1 second while I look down. Hello, Sarah. I hope you're well, sweetheart. Evening, Valerie. Hope you're well, gorgeous. Good evening, Dawn. Nice to see you here. Evening, Janet. Evening, Sarah. It is a stranger. Bless you. Dawn, I brought some Larimar from you at the healing weekend. Bless you, sweetheart. Thank you. Evening, Hannah. I hope you're well. Lovely to see you both. Lovely to see you, Dawn. I only cleanse in the moon, or I use selenite. Dawn, I am with you on that. There's not many crystals that I use the sun with. I mean, my obsidians, my carnelians, they're very like, give me the sun. But as a rule, it's moon energy that I use, definitely. And you use other crystals, selenite as well. Beautiful. Yeah. I don't have a piece, but I'm very drawn to it. I feel very calm when looking at it and keep getting a dolphin. Funny that, Sarah, because the other name for Larimar is the dolphin stone or the Atlantis stone. So, yeah, because Larimar works on the throat chakra, aids in communication, clarity, truth, bringing a calm and a balance to any situation. So with communication, like we always have to remember, sometimes who we're connecting to doesn't necessarily understand what we're saying. So with the throat chakra stones and with, with the likes of Larimar, it comes into that situation and enable us to communicate. So if you have got a fondness of dolphins, I've known people who've used it for whales, anything to do with marine life. Larimar seems to be the crystal to help in aid of communication. You don't have to make a noise. You just need to just express, remain silent, and just communicate. So, yeah. And if any people do have strong connections to Atlantis, this is a crystal that is one of those that will aid you to work with that. And again, if you're meditating or you're going through a journey back to that time in Atlantis, carrying Larimar will help to clarify things, will help to bring the truth to your meaning, what you're seeking. And again, that communication. So should you meet any Atlantean guides there, you're going to be able to both come to a mutual communication by carrying Larimar. But it's a very nurturing stone. I mean, I'm a Piscean. So last week I love aquamarine. This week I equally love Larimar. It just really keeps me hydrated, keeps me, really nice. And I'm not far from the sea when I'm carrying Larimar. I mean, I'm quite lucky. I'm in Exeter, so I'm not too far from the seaside. But as a land-dwelling Piscean, I always feel I need that bit of water next to me. It helps encourage meditation. So anyone who struggles with meditating, calming that mind, switching that mind off, then Larimar is another one. When you listen, so many of us will perhaps listen to meditation music to calm us down or to go to sleep. And some of us might feel drawn to those that you can hear that sea just rippling on, just crashing gently on the shoreline. You can hear the tide coming in and out in the meditation CD, and you find that the calming, relaxing. Well, you can use that with Larimar. By holding Larimar and closing your eyes, it gives you that same feeling, that same sensation of flowing in and out. Let me just read some more comments. Lovely to see people here. Janet Powell, I always thought it was found on the beach. Now I know. Yes, first off, it was found in the mountains. And then second, it was found deposited on the beach. But both people were Miguel. I think the first Miguel was a priest, or the second Miguel. One of them was a priest, but they were both called Miguel. Is there a way to tell of real and fake Larimar? You know, some people are really clever. Some people are really good. The only way is buying raw. Get yourself a raw specimen. Connect with that rawness. Because once things get tumbled, they all have that sheen. So, but if you get yourself a raw piece, so you know, you can feel the realness in that, and then connect to that. Once you've got that feeling, once you've got that sensation, then you'll be able to feel, go along and connect to pieces, and you'll know just by touching it, yeah, you're real. Yeah, I know that you're the genuine thing, because that is it. Because it's expensive, like Moldavite, people out there do forge it, and there are fakes out there. I've seen videos where you've got beautiful pieces of Larimar, really nice, but by putting it under water and cracking it open, it's actually plaster. Very, very perfectly done. So yeah, unless you want to smash up your very expensive piece of Larimar, which I would not recommend, it would be quite hard to find out how to tell it true, unless you really just know the feel, know your crystals. Dawn, my piece of Larimar has been on my person daily for 21 years. Beautiful. Tuning forks and smudge for me for cleansing too. Yeah, I love it. You know, there's nothing like sparking up a California white sage and just smelling that sage and onion stuffing. And just, yeah, what a cleanser. I mean, that is my go-to. But when we do events, there's sometimes we can't use smudge due to some people not liking the smell, or due to the smell, the fragrance sticking to marquees or the places where we are. So we do have to bring other things. So sprays are the safe ones to use at events, because sometimes even the sound, some people can get a bit annoyed with the sound keep going off. Whereas the spray, you're pretty safe with. Caroline, Larimar got me through the last couple of months at work, helped me keep my emotions in check most of the time. Beautiful, beautiful. That is lush. Any questions at all, please do feel free to ask. Hey, Angel. Hope you're well, gorgeous. Dawn, you are a Piscean as well. I knew I liked you. I knew there was a reason. Yeah. So aquamarine, Larimar, beautiful. Norma, I'm very drawn to it. I have Atlantean connection and obsessed with the sea. Last night was whale water sound bath night last night. Must get some. Is it very expensive? It is. It is very expensive. I mean, if you think that this beautiful, and you get different gradings. So this beautiful little sphere here got good patternings there, but that's £70. £70. But we do have tumbles that has the matrix that has a bit of the bedrock attached to it. That affects the value. So something of that size is £12. Or then we have raw pieces, which are £4. And then this ginormous piece here. So, Eddie, I know, welcome. Bless you. It was Eddie that suggested what crystal we will talk about tonight. And bless you, you've only just joined us. But it will be on the business page for you to look at, or YouTube for you to catch up on with. So yes, I think I've gone through everything. So Larimar, we've got sodium, calcium in that, hydroxide. I wouldn't put it in your drinking water because of that sodium. The Mohs scale, 4.5 to 5. So yeah, it could be okay to cleanse in water. Definitely polished, because once it's been tumbled, it kind of just gives a bit more of a hardness to the outside. Something that's raw, I would perhaps be very reluctant to put that in the water. Don't charge by the sunlight, charge by the moon. So next week, let me pop back up for this. So next week, I will not be here. Fancy starting something and then not going to be here. That's because I'm going to be at Sidmouth. I'll be there come this Friday. It's a week-long event, the Sidmouth Folk Festival. So if any of you are nearby, do come down for the week. Well, not for the whole week, but come down during the week. You can come for the week. And if you do come, just come in and say hello. Do make yourself known. So next week, there will be no Crystal of the Week. So we can get 2 weeks of Larimar. Feel that connection to Atlantis. Feel the communication in your throat. Maybe go on a meditation with a dolphin. Hold a piece of Larimar. Call in your dolphin guide. Where will dolphin take you? Let me know. Let me know if you do any meditations with dolphin or the Atlantean period and holding Larimar. How does that feel? Or if you struggle with Larimar, if you struggle meditating, try holding a piece of Larimar and sit and see how you feel going into that calming motion, the beautiful sea energy, and drift off. See if it helps you to meditate. So in 2 weeks' time, what would you like me to discuss? What crystal would you like to know the structure of, the hardness of, the chemical formula, as well as the spiritualness? Oh, Ed is a Piscean too. Can I have a couple of raw bits? Of course you can, Angel. I'll be in touch afterwards. Thank you for the information, Dan. I'm loving Larimar even more now. Good. I'm glad it helps. I want to... Obviously, I've got to bring in the spiritual side of it, but I want to more talk about the discovery. These evenings are more about the science, the structure, the hardness, how to cleanse, how to charge it. Because we can do topics on cleansing and charging, but sometimes talking about cleansing as a whole, we lose track of what should be cleansed with what can be charged under what. So by tackling a crystal a week and just allowing you to know that, okay, moon energy to charge and I can use the sound, smudge and spray perfectly. So, Janet, can I suggest fluorite? Angel, I would have to see if it works as well as my favorite phosphosiderite. Ooh, very, beautiful. Let me know. Dawn, kyanite and the different colors. Ooh, kyanite. Oh, fluorite. Yes. Susan, thanks, Dan. I had some Larimar jewelry for many years. Yes, I do have a pendant, which I love. Is a selenite base plate not good for charging all crystals? If you use crystals, absolutely. For me, I don't. There's other things out there. We've got the sun and the moon. I tend not to put crystals in charge of other crystals. I just let them be on their own. That's just me. And that's the way that I work. It's like sometimes people say that if you put crystals with carnelian or with citrine, that they cleanse those crystals. No. For me, they work hard enough as it is, giving me the properties and the energy that is in that mineral. I don't put them to work on charging or cleansing my crystals. But like I said, that's just me. But selenite, yes, you certainly can. Definitely do one of those. So fluorite. So I will do fluorite in 2 weeks' time. I won't be here next week. In 2 weeks' time will be fluorite. And then the week after that, we'll do kyanite, because kyanite is a very special crystal, especially when it comes to the hardness. Right. If there is anything else to say, please do comment. I will look at the comments after I finish this. Let me just have a look. Thanks, Dan. So how do you recharge the selenite? I recharge selenite by the moon. So I use moon energy for selenite, and I don't put it in water. But I will talk about selenite when we get to the selenite evening. Guys, I'm going to love you. Oh, I'll do fluorite in 2 weeks if we are back from picking Ruben up. It's a good job my husband's here. Oh my God, why have I started something? And I'm perhaps going to have a 2-week break. The next crystal of the week will be fluorite. The next one after that will be kyanite. Okay. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for listening about this. I hope there were some pieces of information there that you found interesting. Let me know. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you thought. Dan, that was shit. I love to hear your views. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening, and I will see you again tomorrow morning for your live card readings. And for the crystal of the week, who knows when I'll be back to do crystal of the week. But when I do, it'll be fluorite. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Love, love, love. Bye-bye for now.